So there's a bluebird at my window, and he sings to me the whole day through, yeah. And though the seasons change and sometimes life gets rearranged, that same old song somehow sounds new. This bluebird's really not that blue.
All right, we're here with Steve Hawley Stafford of the S. Hawley Stafford Quartet.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, when you're playing solo, though, you just go by Steve Stafford.
Right, Steve Hawley Stafford. That's my name.
Okay. And how would you describe the music that you make?
My music, I've tried to develop my own style, and it's kind of a cross between, there's an element of jazz in there that you'll hear distinctly, but I've got a lot of country in me too, so it's a country blues jazz blend, I think.
Yeah, you mentioned being from, born in Kalamazoo,
Right.
Michigan, but raised essentially in McAllen, Texas, right?
Yes, sir.
How close is that to the border of?
I think Reynosa is 6 miles from where I was raised.
How did that region influence you?
Well, my daddy played Hank Williams, and his friends all got together and played those old country songs. So I grew up hearing that, and Mama singing Patsy Cline, and kind of a musical family. And I got involved in music early on, and actually when I went off to college, I was a music major, and of course I was young and full of it and knew that, Hank Williams wasn't really music, but got a little older and wiser and know hopefully a little bit better now.
Was your father a guitar player? Was he a professional musician?
No, he's a carpenter. And he, very rudimentary guitar, but, for a lot of those old country songs, you sing them with feeling, it works real well.
And did the musicality of your parents rub off on, do you have brothers and sisters?
Both my sisters are gone now, so it's just me.
Did they adopt music into their lives?
No, not really. They both sang, but neither one ever took up an instrument. We all sang, but I'm the only one that really got into playing instruments.
And you mentioned being a music major, but we won't figure out exactly how many years it's been. But you just released your first record. A couple of years ago, you said, or a year and a half?
Yeah, about a year and a half.
Okay. What was that like, and why did it take you so long to finally?
Well, life kind of got in the way, and somewhere in the middle there, and I got married, and my wife had health issues, and I became a land surveyor and got registered and started running a business, and before you know it, here I am 40, and then I'm 50, and then my wife passed away, and I thought, what am I doing? Where's my music? It was in the closet, basically. My piano was in the closet, and my guitar, I'd take it out every once in a while and play it. And she passed away, and I just had an epiphany. I'm going to make music for the rest of my days, and basically to hell with making money.
Do you have any regrets about picking it up in a more full-time manner later in life?
No, not really. Not really. Not time for regrets. I have regrets, of course, in my life, but no, that's not one of them. I'm alive. I'm alive now. I'm here now. I'm going to make music.
Nice. And who are some of your biggest influences today?
Oh, I really like Elvis Costello a lot. I've probably got all of his CDs, and I mean, there's a million of them. I like Randy Newman as a songwriter, performer. He can't really sing, but he's a great songwriter. Fantastic songs. I guess I don't listen to a lot of what goes for popular music now. I like a lot of the older stuff. I guess look at me and listen to my music, and you can see that too.
The temptation is to say older, but really it's kind of like timeless is more what it is to me.
What I've been surprised at is when I go around and play, how many of the young people like my music. Lots of them go, I really like that, and I'm really encouraged by that. I didn't expect it.
And there is a sort of a timelessness in the writing and in the words you're using, and because everyone can relate to love and romance and all those things. Do you think of yourself as a romantic?
Yes, definitely. It comes out in the music too, I'd say.
Yeah.
To me, music is the language of emotions. Now, the words in there, they'll have their logical meanings, but the emotion of the music and the emotion of the words, when they match and come together, really makes for a powerful song. But the music itself, classical music, even music without words, it raises emotions in us that often we don't even know where they come from. And the music, it taps right into that emotional content without using the mind much at all, really.
Well, that's an interesting way to articulate that too. I was thinking about how even a 2-second or 5-second passage in a song can be as powerful as a whole movie.
Oh yeah,
you can live a lifetime in a song.
You just wrench that emotion right out of you.
Right, and it's I guess the economy of songwriting that can be so great. And is there a vocalist that stands out for you? Because well, you just mentioned Randy Newman, maybe not being the greatest vocalist around, and maybe Elvis Costello isn't either, but is there you have a very smooth type of voice, a really good vocal quality. So who do you like?
I like Tony Bennett a lot. I like Frank Sinatra a lot, too. I like Linda Ronstadt. She's a fantastic vocalist. And Katie Lang, another female vocalist I really like.
How important or where does the difference between covering someone else's song and doing your own song, how does that sit for you? Because all the times I've seen you doing your own material it seems to be what I do. What you do.
But I know a lot of songs, and I do other people's songs. And I've always, even when I was a surveyor I always took interest in learning new songs, because if I hear it, I go, how did they do that exactly? And I'd want to figure it out. And so that's how you progress. That's how you get to a point, when you get my age, where you know all the chords and you can play it, because you're continually learning. So I've always, the Beatles particularly, made a lot of inspiration for me about how did they do that? How did they get that sound, and figure it out.
Another thing that strikes me about what you do is you're allowing for quiet. You can hear the spaces between your chords and between your words, and you're not in a hurry or have any anxiety about filling up empty space. And there aren't a lot of people who sort of do that, but it seems very effective. Is that a conscious thing for you?
Yes, yes, it is a conscious thing. Yes, silence can be just as moving and important in the context as always having to be doing something, always having to be making a sound. I think it's a question of musical styles, really. A lot of the music nowadays is dance music. People dance to it. I say nowadays, I guess this has been going on for quite a while. Popular music and dance music, it's like the old bandstand thing. I had a great beat, I could dance to it, I give it a 10, And when you've got that kind of mentality about music, well, then you've got to have something going all the time. It's more of a classical approach, where silence and space between the notes can be very important.
You're not afraid to be quiet, and it strikes me as a way of, it draws people in to what you're doing versus being loud.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you're just covered up. People don't even look up. But when they do, and it gets quiet and people listen, then magic can happen.
So on your record, on your CD, you're playing with, you play the flute as well, right? And
yes, sir.
And the piano?
Mm-hmm.
And so on this record, do you perform much or at all with the guys that are on?
We used to. We haven't done it my bass player got sick. And we just we haven't done it in 6 months, I guess. We haven't played together.
Okay. And any plans to anytime soon?
We'll see. We'll see. Jerry, the guitar player on there, him and I are close friends. We've known each other for 40 years, and we do play together quite a bit. And he'll probably come out Tuesday night. I play every Tuesday night over there at the Coffee Oasis. And he said he wouldn't make it this Tuesday, but hopefully next Tuesday he'll be back in town. So we play together all the time. But the whole band, no, we haven't been doing that lately.
And do you prefer one of the over the other, playing by yourself or with the band or with?
It's just different. I like them both. I like it both. When you play with the band, you're so much more structured, and you really have to play differently than when you play by yourself. I play a lot less and leave room for everybody else, and I like that too. It's nice.
And when you were recording these songs, I imagine well, how did you write them originally? Like most of the songs on your CD, do you sit down on a piano or on the guitar?
The songs that I play guitar on, I wrote on the guitar. The songs I play the piano on, I played on the piano. Of course, on the album, we went back and overdubbed lots of stuff. So even my guitar songs have organ in the background and stuff like that. But I'd say 2/3 of my songs I write at the guitar because I just find the guitar so inspiring. But the piano's so much easier to figure things out. It's all spread out here in front of you, and particularly if you're trying to figure out a cover of some song that's kind of complicated, some old jazz tune, to go into the piano, it's a lot easier than trying to do it on the guitar.
And with the songs that you recorded, I imagine you had a lot to choose from when you thought or when you first started your recording process.
I've got a lot of songs.
Was it difficult to choose?
Kind of, yes. There was some that we recorded that I didn't put on the album, and some that just kind of came along at the last minute.
But what do you hope when someone listens? I guess I'm thinking of the recorded version of your stuff. Like, what do you hope they get out of it?
I hope it touches them emotionally. Here I've talked a whole bunch about music theory and secondary dominance and stuff, but that's really just a tool. If you've mastered those tools, and then you can get into the music and make that emotional connection. If you're limited in your language, in your musical abilities, in your chord structures and what you know how to do, it limits what you can say. But if you can get into, if you can master a few techniques like that, then you can, for me, the music is, like I said before, it's the language of emotion. And that's the connection I want to make. It's not an intellectual connection, it's an emotional connection.
Well, I think you do that. And,
that's the point.
I want to thank you for being here, and would you play a song for us?
I'd love to.
All right, well, thanks.
Thank you, Zach.
All right.
There's a bluebird at my window, and I hear him singing all day long. Now he must know that winter's coming around the bend, yet he just sings that same old song. And there's a rainbow over the meadow, the sun is out and the storm is past. Though I know there may be dark skies up ahead, somehow I feel it's gonna last. Yeah. So now I feel the sunlight on me, though autumn's in the air, the hope of spring with the warmth of love. And how I do rejoice to hear his voice, a little music from above. So there's a bluebird at my window, and he sings to me the whole day through, yeah. And though the seasons change and sometimes life gets rearranged, that same old song somehow sounds new. This bluebird's really not that blue.